welcome to Sports Corner with Ralph Williams and Smokin' Jim Frazier. And now here's your host, Ralph Williams and Smokin' Jim Frazier.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smokin' Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Indians. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, the Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, the Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
Yeah, it's some Judas Priest there, and you got another thing coming. Yeah, you got everybody here today has another thing coming. This is the Sports Corner show with me, Ralph Williams, solo today. Smokin' Jim Frazier not available. He has some other obligations today. We were supposed to be on Tuesday, but being the fact that it was my wife's birthday, Smokin' Jim's birthday, and then plus Smokin' Jim was busy with Al Levine, the Talking Machine, who I want to congratulate right now before we get started on 1,000 episodes on the Pittsburgh Sports Line. Pittsburgh, don't forget to tune in on YouTube and Facebook. Sports Line, Pittsburgh Sports Line, Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smokin' Jim Frazier, Mike Rohde, and also Chip Hayner. He contributes as well. And excuse me, Nick Callis, excuse me. And Nick Callis as well. All right, this show's dedicated today to my late father, Ralph Williams II, and my late nephew, Sean Negley Jr., and also to my our late family friend, Lauren Madler. And also, I want to thank all of you for watching today. We had to move the show to Thursday today. I have a lot to talk about. Steelers training camp, the All-Star game, and I have a rant today that's going to be interesting. But first, we have to acknowledge Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-201-0500, Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. They are our studio sponsor. Don't forget to call them today if you live in Western Pennsylvania, 724-201-0500. You ought to call Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. And also, another great sponsor for our show here. And you can be a sponsor too. Ralph Williams, 737@gmail.com. Great, affordable advertising. You get all my podcasts here, plus you get 2 radio shows in Pittsburgh, 1250 AM The Answer and 92.5 on the FM dial. And you also get a spot on my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com. All right, here is Mike Dotson. Don't forget to call him if you're interested in buying a house down in Ocean City, Maryland, or you want to rent a home, or if you want a short-term rental. Anything dealing with real estate, give Mike a call, 410-596-1681. Mike Dotson Realty. All right. Okay, let's get started with the show here real quick today. I want to talk about Dan Serafini. Those of you who don't know who Dan Serafini is, he is a pitcher who pitched for the Dodgers, some other teams, played for Bobby Valentine in Major League Baseball. Then decided to go to Japan and what they call get a new lease on life, more or less, as far as as a pitcher in baseball. Well, Dan Serafini went there. He became the MVP of the Japanese World Series. The Japan team that he was on, along with manager Bobby Valentine, they won the Japanese World Series. Okay, they went to championship and they won. All right. Dan Serafini went and bought a bar. I saw it on Bar Rescue. John Taffer went and rescued his bar. And now he's being charged. This happened 5 years ago. That's how long the justice system is so backed up that a guy like Dan Serafini here was able to survive 5 years before this came up. He's possibly going to prison for life. Why? He murdered his father-in-law. Okay. What did he murder him for? He won the lottery or he got money somehow, a big millions and millions of dollars. And he went and he killed him. Okay. Now, Dan Serafini not only was having issues with his bar, he also was having issues with his personal life. He went through a couple divorces, was working as a construction worker while trying to manage his bar. It was just totally chaos. Take a look go to Bar Rescue and look for it. I don't know the episode number, and you'll see it. Dan Serafini, at a bar. And I don't think he has it anymore. I'd have to find out. If so, I don't know who's running it, and I don't care. All right. But let's talk a little bit about, and we're going to be talking about this Saturday as well on the Sports Corner radio show with me, Ralph Williams, Smokin, Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. All right. Let me see if I can get it here. Having issues today with my eyes. Those of you who don't know, please say some prayers for me. I have two cataracts. I have one in my right and one in my left eye. So I just want to let everyone know that. Please say some prayers for me. I'll be going in August for surgery on the right eye. And then I'll be going in. Here we go right here. Sports Corner radio show every Saturday, 2 o'clock p.m. to 3 p.m., 12:50 a.m. The Answer up in Pittsburgh, and the 92.5 on the FM dial. Also on the, we will be talking about this topic that I'm talking about a little bit today. And we got a bunch of other stuff to talk about. Next week, I have a gentleman coming on from Pittsburgh Sports Now. All right. And he covers the Pitt Panther football team. And those of you who don't know, training camp starts in the beginning of August for all college football teams. And Pitt starts in August. A lot of question marks this year for Pitt. Are they going to be as good or better than last year? They have a lot of young talent coming back. Well, we're going to find out. Nathan Breisinger will be joining me next week from Pittsburgh Sports Now. He writes for them. They have some podcasts. I don't really promote them that much, all because of their editor-in-chief there decided he didn't want to come on my show, but he'll go on the the one on Channel 11. What is that? The Final Word, okay, and refuses to come on any programs that I've ever asked him to come on. So you know what? Who cares? But I'll let this guy come on because he's the first person from that organization or that group to respond to my emails and phone calls. So there you go. All right. But anyway, he'll be joining us next week. We're going to be talking Pitt football, ACC, what's going to happen with Pitt. The following week, we're going to talk Penn State, Big Ten. I'm working on getting Emmett Mahan on here. He covers Penn State for Draft Nation. And also I'm working on getting somebody to come on to talk about Duquesne and Robert Morris football as well as we get ready for this season in college football. It's going to be an interesting season this year. We'll see what happens. All right. In the meantime, let's talk about the Pirates. The second half of the season is approaching. Do you think Don Kelly and his gang, and I call it Don Kelly and his gang because that's exactly what it is, can have a better second half than they did the first half? And actually, to be honest with you, they went ahead and they kind of reversed things a little bit. Usually they have a very good first half and fall apart in the second half. Of course, that was Derek Shelton. This is Don Kelly. Okay. Do you think Don Kelly deserves to be the full-time manager for next year? Or do you think that there's, big-time possibilities for, that kind of thing? I mean, if you think that, okay. what's going to happen with the Pirates for the second half of the season. They have the same personnel. They got rid of Adam Frazier. They traded him to the Royals yesterday. Okay. Back to the same team he came from. All right. He'll make about 10 trips to Pittsburgh, and he'll be, back and forth. The Pirates like to, sign these, what I call scrubs, people who like the Tommy Phams of the world and stuff like that. My big question to you is, what do you think the Pirates are going to do in the second half? With this time off, do you believe they probably sitting there thinking, and Don Kelly, is he the man for the job here? Or do you think that he is just somebody that's sitting down waiting to get somebody else in here, and he goes away in the sunset? What happens? What do you think happens? Do you think Don Kelly's the man? I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. I've been told by experts, by people who know of him from the Detroit Tigers organization, that Don Kelly's a really pretty good guy. He was a candidate for the Detroit Tigers coaching position or manager position. Okay. All right. Can O'Neal Cruz hit the long ball like he did in the All-Star game? Can these position players play their position? Can they stop looking like the bad news bears? Does Mitch Keller get traded? This is all questions, and there's no real big answers to some of this stuff with the Pirates. And you think about that for a second as you're watching my show here today. Also on Facebook, anybody that's interested, want to make some comments, comment here on YouTube. We're also on Twitch, Twitter, X, and also on the Kick Network and the Huddle Sports Network as well. We're working on some other entities as well. I've been working hard, but I've been sort of behind the eight ball lately because I've been trying to still get my house together, and I got some health issues that have come up. My wife's been sick, and it's just been a rough time here. So bear with me here as I'm trying to get RW Media Productions back up and running in full and on time and on pace here. It's just been one thing after another here in Berlin, Maryland. It's my new home. So I just want to let everyone know that as well. And I'm also working on getting Mike Sisak back on. Mike covers the Baltimore Ravens, Washington Commanders, and he also covers the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. We'll get his opinion. I might try to have him come on in a couple of weeks, but maybe next week, because I got Nathan coming on at 4 to talk about the Pitt Panthers, and maybe we'll do a double guest day. I think we'll do that. All right. But anyway, getting back to the Pirates, okay? Bob Nutting should sell the team, if you ask my opinion. I'm going to tell you a little story here. Tampa Bay, the Rays, are about to be sold to an ownership group. Question to this ownership group is basically, what are you going to do about a stadium? The public there, they don't want to pay for one. They're talking about putting it in St. Pete. They're talking about putting it in Tampa. It's been a big uproar. Right now, the Tampa Bay Rays play in New York Yankees training camp or spring training facility. Okay. They're a small market team. This guy's selling the team. I think he can't do any more than that. Tampa got their blessing. The question I have is, why can't Pittsburgh get their blessing? Okay. Why can't Bob Nutting sell his team? Because he's not. Mark Cuban came in here and offered him double. And he said, no, the Pittsburgh Pirates are not for sale. Okay. All right. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in a couple of years. I think it's 2028, I believe. The lease runs out at PNC Park. They're already in trouble with the RAD board. The RAD board has given them, which is the Regional Asset District. They are the ones that execute taxes, which they put extra fees on tickets for this year because of renovations that were done at PNC Park. And they told Bob Nutting straight up, you got to start getting a winning team in here or we're not going to renew your lease. And that's coming up in about 3 years. So Bob Nutting better wake up. You better start doing something, or pretty soon there ain't going to be nobody in the seats, just like the Chicago. Speaking of White Sox, Pirates play tomorrow night against the White Sox. And the White Sox are the worst team. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Rockies and the White Sox are the two worst teams in the entire Major League Baseball. At least the Pirates. And the Pirates, I think, are like third and fourth worst. Okay. All right. But they've been the worst forever. The Pirates have. All right. So I'm getting back into my booking machine, as Smokin Jim Frazier calls me. I'm going to have Keith Engel come on from the TGI Sports Network. I'm working on Bo Crouch, working on a bunch of guys, trying to get some of the national people on here. Okay. Taking this show to newer heights. And I want to thank everybody for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Please do so as well. Also, my Twitter X platform, and also Facebook, LinkedIn. Follow me on Kick. Follow me on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. I don't get on TikTok and Instagram much, but at times I will be promoting my shows, but that's it. All right. So where do the Pirates go from here? Second half of the season. Are you ready? Are you ready to continue to watch the Progy races at PNC Park? Are you continuing to go there to watch or to go there for Dollar Hot Dog Day on Thursdays? And you notice they put it during businessman specials, so you don't have to worry about too many hot dogs and running out of buns and all that other stuff. Okay. All right. Okay. Our studio sponsor is Mata Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-201-0500. Call Mata today. Mata Heating and Air Conditioning. You ought to call Mata. There you are. Heating and Air Conditioning, 724-201-0500. And also Mike Dotson Realty, Ocean City, Maryland, 410-596-1681. Also, I would like you to, if you could, and these are my friends, I want you to support these guys right here, Pensman Sports. All right. He has a lot of great stuff about the New York Yankees. If you like the Yankees and you like some other teams, he gets into the Yankees big time, Pittsburgh teams and whatnot. Check out Pensman Sports. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Twitter X as well. Tiger Stripes Net Media. That is Brian Pettit. He does a really good job. He covers Clemson and he covers some other things as well. So get on his network. And then last but not least, the Southern Fried Sports with J.D. Wyatt. He also does great work. He covers South Carolina Gamecocks and a few other, he does a few other things as well. So tune into J.D. Wyatt as well. So don't forget about him. And don't forget, coming up at 5 o'clock is the Wrestle Talk Show. Oh, man, I got to talk about today. WWE, AEW both had pay-per-views over the week, or had pay-per-views over the weekend. Saturday night's main event. What an event. What an evolution that was as well. We'll talk about all that, AEW, and much more. All right. So there you are with that as well. All right, let's look at, and I got a couple more things. Don't forget about this Saturday, the triple header of Ralph Williams Saturday, and it starts at 8 a.m. With me, Ralph Williams, Tony Moreno. We are doing the good, the bad, and the ugly of Mayor Ed Gainey of the city of Pittsburgh. Check this out. All right. And then also, don't forget, immediately following that at 10 o'clock, right in between the two shows here that are on the radio, 12:50 a.m., by the way, for that, and 92.5 on the FM dial as well. All right, and don't forget about the Saturday here. I'll put this one. This one's a little bit lighter. There we go. Saturday sports show with me, Ralph Williams, Leo Haggerty, and we're going to have Brian Pettit from the Tiger Stripes Network and Pensman Sports will join us as well on this Saturday as well this week. So there you are. All right, and then the last but not least of the triple header of Ralph. Don't forget about the Sports Corner Radio Show, 2 p.m., 12:50 a.m., 92.5 on the FM dial. Also on 12:50 a.m., The Answer, and pgh.com. So don't forget about that as well. And that is some of the announcements that I have here, and more than that, actually. Western Pennsylvania. If you live in Western Pennsylvania, please call Robin Campbell Insurance, 412-366-3399. Robin Campbell Insurance. Please call them today if you need any kind of insurance. All right. And I think I got to take care of my handicap brother. But anyway, Big Dog Auto. Call him today, 412-999-0121. Big Dog Auto in West Mifflin. Look, oil change, state inspection, brakes, anything you need. I tell you what, the Big Dog will not bite you. He will fix your car at the right way, at the right price, and professionally. Big Dog Auto, West Mifflin, 412-999-0121. 9-1. All right. Before we get started with Steeler talk, let's talk a little bit about the Penguins. Penguins training camp starts in September. They have a new coach in Dan Muse, who has never coached in the NHL. I mean, he's been an assistant all across everywhere. All right. And I just don't know. There's an unknown here with Dan Muse. If they would have if they would have hired DJ Smith, at least we know that he was a head coach at one time. All right. Rick Tocchet, former Penguin, he was out there, I think, and then he was coaching somewhere else and just got fired again. So, but Rick Tocchet, bring him in as an assistant or something. All I have to say is this: for a guy who's in a first year as a coach, you need to bring in some top assistants in order for you to make it. Dan Muse will not make it if he doesn't go out there and get some experienced assistants, maybe some former head coaches. Go out there and reach out to some of them. Okay? Find out who's available. Maybe get a former Penguin player who's a coach right now. Find out who got fired. Dan Muse, you got to go out, new Penguin coach, and get these kind of people. Because if you don't, you're going to lose. And that's a simple fact. When you're a coach like that your first year, even though you're a smart guy and probably would be a smart coach, you know what I mean? We don't even know what his system is, okay? You're a pretty smart guy, pretty smart coach. So with that, would you, let me see if I can find this trade thing here. Nope, that's not what I want. That's later on. Hold on, let me find this here. Yeah, they made a trade this week, the Penguins. They got a goaltender. Okay. So there you are. Check it out. We didn't trade much, but we do need a goaltender. Tristan Jarry is not the man anymore. All right, he's terrible. Horrible. Cal Dubas made the mistake of his life, but he was kind of forced to do that because he didn't have anybody. Yadelkovich is a serviceable backup if he stays healthy. Tristan Jarry, hurt. Back to the minors, back from here, up and down and all around. Tristan Jarry, terrible. Evgeny Malkin's going to retire at the end of his contract. He's going to Russia. He's going to go play with Jaromir Jagr. Okay. Who I believe is like almost, 60 years old and still skating? Wow. All right. Jagr needs all that money from all the gambling losses he's had over the years. I'm not going to go into that today, but there are some stories about that. So a good media friend, colleague of mine up in Pittsburgh told me some stories. Wow. Okay. Sidney Crosby. What's his thoughts on Dan Muse? Okay. What are they going to do with Dan Muse? What's his system? See, again, we're a second of three of all of our teams all have question marks. They all have, question marks. What's going to happen? The Steelers, we'll be talking about them shortly. Pitt. Next week, we talk Pitt with Nathan from the Pittsburgh Sports Now. Okay. I might try to get Mike Sisak on here and a few other people. So it's becoming a serious situation. I'm back where I need to be, part-time a little bit here. I'm still working on this house. I've still got things going on in my life that are interfering with me trying to get my media stuff going. All right. So what's bothering me is I got cataracts in both of my eyes, and it's just kind of, what it is. All right. So, all right. Okay, let's look at the, let's see if we got no comments in the comments section. Wow, where you guys at today? Jeez, everybody's at work probably. But that's fine. I have enough material to cover me, so we're good. All right. We are good. Okay, let's talk about the Steelers now. Training camp is here. Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback. Is he going to be the one-year wonder, take us to the Super Bowl? I said this 1,000 times. I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face, because you know why? I don't like this thing about everybody out there. Mike Tomlin is the greatest coach in Steelers history. Mike Tomlin is a winning coach. Mike Tomlin. No, Mike Tomlin will never, ever win another Super Bowl. So the Steelers better wait until his contract runs out and he hits 20 years and says, I'm stepping away and may go coach somewhere else. Who cares? Goodbye. toodaloo. It's time for a change for the Steelers. Locker room issues. One guy's getting more money than the other. DK Metcalf just showed up here. Okay. 40 million. TJ Watt wants $30 million. Do you think TJ Watt's worth $30 million? Please tell me. Do you believe that? And what I'm tired of hearing is about how great this Steeler defense is. If they're so great, why can't they stop the run? If they're so great, why did they get burned by receivers all year long? If they're that good, why didn't they? There's a lot of things involving here with the Steelers. A lot of unknowns too. All right. Speaking of the Steelers, Najee Harris is about to get cut. He really is. All right. He's about to lose his job down there in L.A. Because remember now, it's the L.A. Chargers, no longer San Diego or whatever. People still call them San Diego or whatever. Okay. All right. All right. Notable defensive players for the Steelers. Let's take a look at this now. All right. You got Jalen Ramsey. You got Joey Porter Jr. And you got Darius Slay. Now, they say Slay is 34 years old. They think he's going to be another Patrick Peterson. I don't think so. I think he's a whole different ballgame. He didn't play much last year, all right, with the Eagles. Okay? And there's a reason for that, all right? And, Smokin' Jim Frazier said it, that there is that this guy was going to be the best, which is the truth, okay? So, I don't know if Darius Slay ate too many cheesesteaks or something like that. That could be the case too, in some perspective. All right. All right. Cooper DeJean. That's who he lost his job to. Cooper DeJean. I couldn't think of his name off the top of my head. Darius Slay, 34 years old. Is he another Patrick Peterson? Do we have another guy who is at the tail end of his career? And the Steelers have a bad habit of doing this. They have a bad habit of bringing in these guys that are at the tail end of their career that might last one season or half a season and say goodbye. Patrick Peterson's not even playing in the NFL right now. Okay? So what do you do? I mean, what do you say? All right? Let's see what happens. Joey Porter should be moved to safety because he commits too many penalties in his position. All right? All right, you got Alex Highsmith, of course, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, all right, and Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen, we're paying him a lot of money. He sort of picked it up at the tail end of the season, but you can't, when you're making the money Patrick Queen's making, you cannot do, just have a half a season. They're about to pay TJ Watt $40 million. TJ Watt got to step it up. This is supposed to be the best defense in the NFL. Mike Tomlin's the greatest coach in the world. Every player loves him. But he can't go to the Super Bowl. And until that happens, for me, he's not the best in the world. Okay? He's not the best in the world. Show me something, Mike. Mediocre Mike. Show me something. Show me. Okay? You ever hear the song from not Al Green. All right? Okay, Al Wilson. Show and tell. Show me something. Don't just tell me something. Show me something, mediocre Mike. You got the talent this year, some of it. You got an inexperienced defensive line which needs to step up. You got rid of, you let Okunjobi go, or you traded him, or whatever you did with him. He's gone. He did nothing. He was a bum. I admit and I will admit when I'm wrong. Okay. Cole Holcomb could be on his way out the door. I know what you're saying. Well, it's not fair because it's an injury. So what? There's a numbers game here with the linebacking crew. They have so many people. I told everybody at the Draft Nation party over at the Rivers Casino, I called this. I said the Steelers are going to take Jack Sawyer. And they did. Jack Sawyer's the next TJ Watt. I'm telling you right now, I will put a quarter down on it because I don't bet very often. All right. I will put a quarter down on this. I think Jack Sawyer is going to be a good player. Peyton Wilson is right now doing well or did well last season. Let's see if he can pick it up again. Let's hope that some of the guys who got drafted last year don't have sophomore slumps. All right. Will Howard, 6th round pick. Is he a steal or is he a bust? That's the question. Okay. The biggest question in the world. Is he a bust? Okay. Again, another team of our professional teams going into a season with a lot of question marks. It's like that every year with all three of them. The Pirates are already playing. We know what's going on with them. The Penguins ended the season on a bad note, and Mike Sullivan got dismissed. Good. What's Dan Muse up to? That's a question. Big question marks this year. Lots of them. Huge question marks. Okay? All right? Huge question marks. It's ridiculously crazy, but true. All right? All right, if you live in Pittsburgh, please endorse and please help Tony Moreno become Pittsburgh's mayor. Save you for public safety. I got to tell you, Tony's revved up, man. He's ready to go. And I'm hoping that he does win as mayor and fix Pittsburgh up because there's a lawless city. That's why I got out. Okay? A lawless city. All right? So, Aaron Rodgers, is he the man? They don't have a really good, legitimate second receiver, the Steelers. They just traded for Jonnu Smith. Can they use the tight ends right? Arthur Smith is supposed to be this big whiz at doing this. Really, Arthur? Are you going to do this? Okay. Let Aaron Rodgers call his own plays. Let the tight ends do their thing. Throw the ball to Darnell Washington. Let him rumble down the field. You don't need a second wide receiver. But if you're going to bring one in, make sure he's not a bum. Go out and get somebody like a DK Metcalf, something close to that. And believe me, training camp's coming up. Guys are going to be getting released. Okay. Draft picks, there's going to, the draft, some of these draft picks might steal some jobs from some veterans. Get them out. Okay. I still can't figure out why in the world some of these guys are still sitting out there as free agents. Why haven't the Steelers scooped a couple up? All right. Their running game's going to be reliant on Caleb Johnson, who I said the Steelers were going to pick. Again, I said this at the Draft Nation party, and I've said it on the air, and I'm right. When I'm right, I'll tell you I'm right. When I'm wrong, I will tell you, I will say I am wrong, which I have come on a microphone and said that. All right. Caleb Johnson. Can he carry the workload as well as Jaylen Warren? All right. And the rest of this running back crew. All right. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I think the team is better now with Aaron Rodgers, but you got Mason Rudolph, who just came back, and Will Howard as his backups. Are you confident with that? Mason Rudolph lost his job in Tennessee last year. He's been floating around the Steeler organization for many years, and the Steelers have done this. They stuck the shaft to him. Okay? All right? He didn't get better by watching Ben. He regressed a little bit. So we're in 2019, he got beat up by Duck Hodges. All right? Don't panic, Steeler fans. This might be a decent year. But I don't think they make it past the first round of playoffs, though. They could. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback. Let's see if the O-line protects him. Let's find out. Famatu's back. Roderick Jones going back to his natural position. There's some unknowns there, too. All right. Steelers didn't do a really good job this year bringing in some free agents or something to help out with this offensive line. They're going to go with what they have. You know, they brought a couple other guys back. They're even bringing in a couple long snappers to compete with Kuntz. But I was told by Ray Fittipaldo that Kuntz's job is still there. All right. People laugh about stuff like that. Long snapping is an important job. Because if you don't long snap it right to the punter, he drops the ball. Guess what? Guess what? You have a fumble, you have a turnover. Nothing like that on special teams. So there you go. All right. Okay, comment section wide open. Anybody's interested? Also, we're on Facebook as well. And we're here today because Tuesday, my wife's birthday was Tuesday, so Smokin Jim was tied up with the 1,000th episode of Pittsburgh Sports Line. So we decided to move it to Thursday here, and Smokin Jim told me today that, and he apologized at the last minute. He's going to this banquet or something, or dinner somewhere. So he's not available today. So you got me solo. And when I'm solo, I get dangerous. All right. How about Mike Tomlin's coaching staff? Nobody talks about them. They're all a bunch of yes men. You've heard it here. They're nothing but yes men. All right. They're not good coaches. The only one that's of any quality is Danny Smith. Okay. Corliss Wakeman, is he going to be back? Cameron Johnson's back from his injury, and I heard he's doing well. Steelers have him on contract. Cole Holcomb, is he going to come back? Mark Robinson, is he going to make the team? Once in a while, you get some of these undrafted free agents that come in and could steal your job. Ramon Foster was one. Some other people were one too. Okay? Come in and make a splash. Come in and have a good training camp and a good preseason. Okay? Then steal someone's job. That's how the National Football League is. And then you cut those players and the Steelers pick somebody up before the season starts. There you go. It's real easy for Omar Khan, who just got a contract extension. Okay? All right? All right. We're going to talk about Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if those of you know, Teddy Bridgewater coaches a high school team down in Florida, or Florida, or Florida, or whatever you call it. However you pronounce it to yourself, or however you say it. That's up to you. All right. Spending money out of his own pocket to help the team be better. Better equipment, better food, better this, better that. Even the school board members, there's a few of them that want him back. He was suspended because he's doing this stuff. Paying for good hotel rooms. Look, he's doing something for a team. He's doing something for his team. So what if he's spending his own money? Who cares? Do you care? It's not your money. It's not the school district's money. It's his money. If he wants to spend it and help his high school football team, that's all well and good. Okay? He's back with the Detroit Lions now. And may not even go back to that high school because of what happened here. Once again, we have parents and school board members and every Don Juan or whatever that knows nothing about sports, knows nothing about anything. Some of these people probably don't even know who Teddy Bridgewater is. Okay? But to do this to this man after he put this thing on the map, let me give you an example here. I've already put 2 radio stations on the map with my shows. The one in Beaver County didn't appreciate it. Okay? All right? I put their station on the map. The one I'm at now, 12:50 a.m. I'm putting their station on the map. Nobody knew who 12:50 a.m. was until I got there. Catch my drift? Teddy Bridgewater is a former NFL player and a quarterback who's doing for his community and for his team and for his kids. Okay? And they're going to suspend him or fire him or whatever it was that they did down there? Yeah, it's his money. That's right, Brian. Thank you, Brian, for participating. Okay. Hello to you as well. Don't forget, I got cataracts in my eyes. Sometimes it's hard to read these comments. And Mikey, Mickey, whatever, however you go by, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for tuning in. We're here. This show and the Wrestle Talk show afterwards are usually on Tuesdays, but I moved it to today because of my wife's birthday on Tuesday. All right. Smokin Jim Frazier had to work with Pittsburgh Sports Line, so when their 1,000th episode. So for both of us, it was going to be kind of tough. So we moved it to today, and Smokin Jim had a last minute thing he had to attend, and he's not here today, but he'll be back with us on Tuesday. All right. We're going to have Pitt. We're going to talk about Pitt and ACC. What is going on with Pitt? I'm possibly going to look at bringing Mike Sisak on here to talk about, or Keith Angle, talk about the NFL season getting started and what's going on. Looking at Bo Crouch, I got a list of people. I'm back where I need to be, about 75, 80%. I'll be back full-time shortly, doing what I need to do. The beginning of August, Tony Moreno and I are going to put the radio show online. We're doing an online show. All right? It's that simple. It's time to take the bull by the horns, as they say. But Teddy Bridgewater, the man is spending his own money, and he's doing for his kids in the community. He's keeping them out of trouble. You live in Pittsburgh, Westinghouse Bulldogs, Donta Green. Look at what he's done for that team. Those kids respect him. They love him. He's a mentor in the community. If anybody is, he is. Okay? I had Donta Green on my radio show when it was on the Beaver County radio. Okay? The station there didn't appreciate me. And I left. And I got out. But they stuck it to me. Back me into a corner. And when you back me into a corner, that is when it becomes a problem. Okay? Aaron Rodgers is going to put butts in the seats at Acrisure Stadium, which I hear attendance is down now because of them not doing what they're doing. Okay? People are tired of it. They want Super Bowls, not bow out in the first round of the playoffs, not 9-8 every year. Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin don't know that. Mediocre Mike. All right, let's get back to Teddy Bridgewater. So now he's with the Detroit Lions now. Who knows if he's going to stay or if he's going to go back to high school. I wouldn't. I'd tell him to eat it. You didn't appreciate me. You called me names. You went ahead and kicked me out because I'm spending money. It's money that you didn't have to spend. The taxpayer, and you're busy, now you want to kick me out? That's fine. Go find another coach that cares. All right. All right. Let's see here. What do we got here? Brian, is Brian there? There we go. All right. All right. Brian says it's that time game wait a minute, hold on. Same way in high school it says a booster can give money to support the team. Yeah, well, maybe that high school, Brian, and I agree with you 100%. They're going to have to go out and get boosters now to go do this but are they, like Brian says, are they really going to give like Teddy Bridgewater spend out of his own pocket? Okay. All right. And he's doing it for the kids, doing it for his school. And you kick him out. You kick them to the curb. To me, that's unacceptable and disrespectful to a man who wasn't the best quarterback in the world, but he got the job done when he had to, Teddy Bridgewater. Okay? There are a lot of former NFL athletes out there coaching high school. Cordell Stewart and many more. Okay? Out there coaching in the high school ranks. Cedric Wilson, former Steeler wide receiver, out there coaching high school. Jason Gilden was a coach at Cardinal World North Catholic in Pittsburgh. All right. The North Allegheny High School in Pittsburgh has former players from the Steelers as assistants. Art Walker has them doing it. You see, there's a lot of former players out there doing some coaching. And I'm sure that some of the guys that have retired, when their kids grow up, they're going to be coaching. Whether it's Frisbee golf or whether it's cornhole or whatever. All right. Because that's what you're supposed to do as a parent. And Teddy Bridgewater's giving back. And you give, and they don't respect you for it. That's the bottom line with Teddy Bridgewater. You know why that's the bottom line? Because Ralph Williams said so. It's disrespectful, and it's unacceptable to me. All right? Thank you for watching today's Sports Corner show. Coming up at 5, we have the Wrestle Talk show, so stay tuned. We'll be back shortly for the Wrestle Talk show. I am Ralph Williams. Thank you. Talk with you Tuesday. Smokin Jim will be back. Nathan will be here. We'll be talking about Pitt football, college. I'm going to possibly get an NFL person on here to talk NFL. Lots of things going on now. Things are starting to happen. NBA is going to start their training camps. NHL in September. Summer's just about pretty much, I wouldn't say over, but you know what? The summer's kicking in. So are all these teams and everything else. Have yourself a great one. Thank you. Please be safe.